Look what he got in the mail, a surprise package. I feel so blessed. This is so cool. So yes, this is a surprise package sent by one of my friends. Well, I'll say acquaintance at this time because I don't know him personally, but he's watched many of my videos on YouTube and yeah, he likes my work and he decided to basically send me a kit of my choosing. So I'm going to show you what that kit is, which kit I chose. So it's a very special kit, very near and dear to my heart because I always wanted it and it was like hard to find, hard to get. It wasn't hard to find, it was just like, it was out of my reach price-wise, right? So I got it, it's in here. And there's another goodie too, and that's really cool. And I'm also gonna show you something else too. So before we get to opening this package, I'm just going to show you a little paint job that I did with this Lexus LBX Morizo RR. Very, very cool. I decided to make this a little bit different by basically taking some of these parts here and painting them black, as you see here. So right here, you see the headlights. They ended up turning black, and this part here, the grille is black. So yeah, the rear window, this whole area here is black. And so I wanted to basically paint this black too, the window and the side windows. That would be cool. And so I'd have to like basically use masking tape to mask everything. So yeah, maybe I'll do that in the near future. So now let's open this package and see what is inside this very special package. It's sent all the way from California. And the gift was sent by someone who wants to remain anonymous, so I will not say who he is. And he actually had someone else send it to me, and that was pretty cool. That made the anonymity even better. So very cool. I feel blessed because like I did not expect this at all. And yeah, it's just wonderful that there are people out there that out of the goodness, kindness of their hearts, they just like do these kinds of things. And yeah, it's wonderful. Very, very cool. And I feel appreciated. And that's so cool. Like all this work making these videos, I've done it basically for free for the longest time. And yeah, you might think that, well, then I got some YouTube, what is it, like content pay money, but it's nothing to like make a living off of. It's just like very tiny amounts. So like it'll basically pay for lunch for like for like one lunch for the entire month. That's how much they pay. It's like very little because nowadays if you want to be a successful YouTube content creator, you have to basically make lots and lots of videos and have like millions of viewers, and I don't have millions of viewers. This is a niche kind of market, this mini four-wheel drive stuff. So it's like you can't expect mini four-wheel drive content creators to be making tons and tons of money like some of the other content creators out there. And really, with just 3,600 subscribers, that's really nothing compared to the millions of subscribers that other people have. They're making all the money. I'm making lunch money, basically. And so you have to basically consider why I'm doing this, right? It's obviously not to make money, but it is so that I can help people, young and old, get into this hobby. And yeah, very, very cool. So what am I cutting here? I'm cutting something. I don't want to cut the box if it happens to be a valuable box, right? And so I don't know. This is like packaged like too well, I think, because I don't know how to really open this. It's kind of weird. All right, come on, 3 master's degrees. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see if we can figure out how to open this without damaging all the contents inside, because it is a kit, and I want to show you which kit it is, but I don't want to cut the box. I'm afraid I'm cutting into the box by cutting this stuff off. So I don't know what's going on here. It's like packaged too well, like I said. So yeah. I'll try to be careful and not cut the box. So yeah. And I appreciate each and every one of you subscribers out there. I appreciate all of you people. I appreciate everyone who watches this channel. You make this channel great. Not me. I just make the content. I just pose questions and try to answer them. So I'm really about like trying to figure all of this stuff out myself, and the funny thing is, like, I don't really have a sensei, right? So a lot of people out there, when they get into this field, into this hobby, they have senseis, and they have people that they can like kind of rely on to teach them things. And really what I wanted to do was kind of like discover all this stuff myself. And so, yeah, a lot of the growing pains that you'll see on my channel, like from all of the videos that I've presented and all of the experiments I've done, they're all my experiments. And so I think that's like it's one way of going about it, right? So if you're the type that wants like the knowledge quite quickly and you want to learn it in a standard fashion where you're told what to do and you do it and then you learn that way, that's one way of learning. But for me, I'd rather experiment on my own and try to discover these things myself. So it's a longer way of learning, but I also have a lot more fun doing it because nobody's telling me what to do. I'm just doing these things out of like my own logic, my own analysis, my own experiences, my own oddball experiences, because I have like engineering knowledge, but it's not the same, it's not mechanical engineering knowledge. I have a sort of logical engineering knowledge. And so when I go about my experiments, there's like a process where I develop something, I design and develop something, and then I play test it. And yeah, sometimes my theories work and sometimes they don't. But oftentimes I'll create something that's really off the wall, something so weird that many people will not have considered this. And I think that's the beauty of learning stuff in this hobby. I think that if you just learn from a sensei, that's great if you're into that, and you'll learn things the right way from the get-go. But if you want to have fun kind of experimenting on your own, and also dealing with the frustrations of it too. If you cannot deal with frustrations, then yeah, don't experiment on your own. But if you can deal with the frustrations and learn from mistakes, and even happy accidents can happen. You know, like so many of these designs, like using the car catcher material. I don't think there's anyone else out there who's experimented with car catcher material quite the same way that I have, and quite the extent that I have. So I have a lot of knowledge about the car catcher for things like body dampers, for example, and things like tail dampers, and things like the rear pivoting system. Nobody else has done this, and I'm sure somebody out there has done some work on it, but really, I've done extensive experiments with car catcher material. So I know a lot about car catcher material, what it can and cannot do, what it's good for, things like that. And really, if you want something that's super lightweight, you'll use car catcher material. You'll try to fabricate something using car catcher material. Now, I'm going to tell you that if you think about what I just said, think about people making these 3D projects, and they're trying to make things out of plastic that things made of metal should be used for. So for example, someone would fabricate a spring out of 3D plastic, printed plastic, and the spring made of plastic works just as well as the metal version of the spring. So that's how you have to think about car catcher material. You basically try to find something that's existing in the mini four-wheel drive world, and you try to fabricate it using another material that's lighter weight, and so then you end up with a faster car. Now, in many cases, it might not be as stable as the metal part, but at least you'll have an idea of how to do it with the car catcher material, with plastic. And I think that's valuable in itself, because over time, somebody will just look at this less stable version, this less stable plastic version, and figure out a way to make it more stable. And so if you come up with some crazy thing that that's not like 100% stable, someone else will probably figure out a better way using that same material. And then, you know what? He or she will have built upon your work. And so I think that that's what creativity is all about. You have the ability to figure out things for yourself, by yourself, and you try to fabricate these things and experiment with them and have fun doing it. If you don't have fun experimenting, then don't experiment, of course. Just go learn from a sensei. But if you do have fun learning and getting frustrated learning, but a happy frustration, then yeah, use your creativity. That's what you have your creativity for. I think a fair number of people don't use their creativity. I know a lot of people probably have a lot of creativity within them, but they don't have the patience to kind of like figure things out on their own. So yeah, they would rather just have the thing kind of made for them or done for them in some way. And yeah, there are shortcuts. You can purchase parts out there in the mini four-wheel drive world, and yeah, you can use those parts instead of trying to fabricate your own. That's fine too. That's also learning. But to have the sheer enjoyment of experimentation, you have to kind of create and fabricate these things yourself. And yeah, that's what I've typically always done. So I would see like something out there in the mini four-wheel drive world, and I would say, how can we fabricate this in another way and maybe even make it better, right? You never know. You can make things better. So yeah, some of my body dampers made of car catcher material work really well. And yeah, you've seen me race these cars before to great success. So yeah, there's something to be said about that. So here we go. I think I found a way to remove this tape. I think this is hard. Whoever packaged this up is like an engineer or something. Because it's like all of the tape is strategically placed all around the box to ensure that this thing is like sealed off from moisture, from the elements. Yeah, so it's going to take a little bit of work to remove all this, but you'll just hear me kind of jabber along the way and talk about things. And I hope I'm not boring you with that. I hope you're not just fast forwarding to what's inside the box, because if you listen to some of the stuff that I say in all of my videos, right, sometimes I do jabber on a lot. If you listen to some of the things, you might get some tidbits of knowledge, and I think that's worth listening to. The tidbits of knowledge. Okay, it's still secure. All right. It looks like some sort of fiberboard is used to fashion this box. So yeah, this guy is definitely some sort of an engineer or some sort of like technical type person. And yeah, he certainly knows what he's doing making these boxes. They're very strong. Oh. I remember one time somebody sent me a kit, like I purchased it from him, and he sent it basically, like he wrapped, what is it, like paper bag over an actual kit box, and of course the box got squished in the mail, and so please don't package anything as fragile as a mini four-wheel drive kit with just paper bag wrapping. That doesn't quite work out well. Look at this. This is this kind of like fiberboard kind of material. Yeah, this is really strong stuff. So when you're packaging your kits to send to people who purchase them from you, be sure to do things like this. This is like very well done. It is so well done that it is hard to open this package. There we go. We're getting there. Come on, 3 master's degrees. Come on, almost MIT. So, story about MIT. I was supposed to go to MIT, and instead I chose Penn because I felt like I would have been like the dumbest person at MIT. Whereas at Penn, I could at least be like smarter than the dumbest person. So that's why I chose Penn. So Penn was my safety school, so to speak. I think nobody wants to feel stupid, right? So we want to go to a school that makes us feel at least somewhat intelligent. So University of Pennsylvania, still a good school. It's an Ivy League school. So it's number 14 in the nation in engineering. That's pretty good. Doesn't mean that I'm a good engineer. No, I like to poke fun of myself a lot. I am actually very, very, very technical. Or at least I used to be when I was younger. So yeah, I was a programmer, and I did a lot of game programming actually. So yeah. I think we're gonna get this open soon. I hope. Oh, here it is. Okay, I see a wedge. Let's cut this open. I remember when I was taking the GRE, I had to take it at MIT. So I went to undergrad at Boston University, and they didn't have a testing center for the GRE at my university. It was weird. I had to walk over to MIT to take the test, to get into MIT. So the funny thing was, it was a really cold day, and it was like icy, and I actually slipped and fell right before the test. And so yeah, it hit the back of my head, and my roommate like picked me up, and we walked across the rest of the way with a bump in my head. And then when I took the test, when I got it from the cold, the extreme cold to the extreme heat in the room, my nose started bleeding. That's what happens to me. Like, I was a very frail kid, a frail college kid. And so, yeah, if you can imagine, I was taking the test with my nose up, because if I had my nose down, my nose would have been bleeding like crazy. And so every now and again, I would like hold my nose, read the question, and then look up and think about it, and then answer the question. So half the time I wasn't looking at the paper because I had to hold my nose up in the air, and I still got into Penn with my GRE score. So that was incredible. Imagine if my nose didn't bleed. I think I would have scored much higher. But yeah, it was enough to get into Penn, and that was great. And yeah, for MIT, my advisor, so I had an in already at MIT, because my advisor knew the inventor of Logo. He was a really famous person, Seymour Papert. So my advisor was his protege, and I was my advisor's protege. And so my claim to fame, my claim to fame to him was that I solved this puzzle that it took him like over a year to solve, and I solved that very same puzzle in 2 days. And he was like really angry when I presented him with the answer. He was like so peeved off. But he saw the potential in me. And so he gave me more problems to solve, and I just solved them very quickly again. And so yeah, then he took me on as his student. So very, very cool. And yeah, I was like really smart at one time. So, okay, here it is. It says, this is so cool. He wrote it. He hand wrote this letter. This is so cool. So it says, Claire, enclosed you will find the anonymous gift. Please keep the giver anonymous. Ooh. Whoa. Okay. This is too cool. I'm very pleased with this, and it's so cool. Thank you. I didn't make these videos to like get anything from anybody. I just made these videos because I thought they would be helping people, and apparently they do. So I'm very, very happy that I touched somebody's heart with these videos. All right. Oh my gosh, it's sealed in here some more. Oh. Okay. Happy thoughts. Open here, bottom. Okay. Yeah. This is real hard to open. Okay. Here we go. All right. Here it is, the moment of truth. Cool. The first item in the surprise package, the Brocken Gigant Black Special, Super FM. And yeah, I had my eye on this for the longest time. And yeah, I finally have it. Thank you. Thank you. Let's take a look at what's inside. So, cool. Squishy tires. Yes. Super FM chassis. Red wheels. Ooh, the rear stay. Oh, the smoked black cowl. So here are all the parts too. And as you know, these older kits, you have to supply your own box stock motor or whatever motor you want. And in here, yeah, so you see here, the special rollers, the blue ones with the rubbers around them, rubber O-rings. And let me show you the stickers. The stickers are always cool. Yes, look at that. So, so cool. And here's something I didn't know that they had. This is, look at this, an information sheet. That's in addition to that yellow information sheet that has like the cartoons and stuff. Yeah, this one. So yeah, there was another information sheet that talked about the AR chassis. I'm sorry, I was crying so much that, that everything's leaking now. Sorry. Okay. And I also got, because I was doing a video on LED stuff, LED lights, I also got a light emitting diode set in red. Very, very cool. Yes. Oh, there's another. There's yet a third sheet that has instructions on what appears to be batteries. That's pretty cool. These older kits had all this stuff, this extra stuff in it. It's pretty cool. I feel so blessed. This is so cool. And I got other things. And I didn't like request them. They just sent them to me, and that's like so cool. I got these wheels in silver and gold. Yes, classic wheels. It's so cool. That's really cool. Sorry. And a bunch of these Tamiya pencils in all different colors. Very, very cool. Thank you, anonymous person. This is so cool. So yes, I'm going to build this kit, and we're going to make it something cool. Yeah. And yeah, a lot of you know that I have a Super FM Brocken Gigant. It's red. And so now I have the black one, and that's so cool. I've been wanting this car like for so long, and I finally got it. It's so cool. So cool. So everybody, if you like this video, please slam the like button, subscribe to my channel. You'll see more videos just like this one. Until next time, everybody, see you. Bye.